We have Francis Seeley with us. Let's speak to him. Hi Francis, how are you feeling?
Okay, I mean, coming to this event is quite amazing. It must take a lot of organisation to get 700 people together, which I think in the times we live in, to have this sort of integrated group of people here is a great achievement and very important.
We welcome you to WCOP. How are you feeling tonight?
Thank you very much. It's really great. I'm feeling pride because all Pakistanis are here. And this particular event is, I think, very important for us, for Pakistanis who are living here, who are working here in all sphere of life.
We being the Indo-Pak people from the subcontinent, we are aware about the culture of the Britain. We were under the Britain for nearly 1.5 centuries, and myself, I come from Hyderabad, so we had a very good relationship with Her Majesty's government.
Well, I'm delighted to talk to you tonight. We've had, as a borough, a multicultural explosion. It's been very, very exciting, and I've encouraged it. And during both my periods as mayor, I gave certain special openings. We had one for all the women, the Arab women, but Pakistani women and women of our borough, to discuss the role of the woman and how to empower her and how to integrate her and how to bring her into the modern life, which was worrying quite a lot of the young Pakistani ladies who are very educated, very cultured, and they can't really break through. So we had a big evening on that.
I'm proud to be British. I'm very, very proud, but I'm also proud on the other hand of, my heritage and being a British Pakistani.
The reason I want to be allowed is I want to thank Christina Becker. It's a great honor that I'm sharing the platform with her and being interviewed with you. You see, I wanted to pay that compliment.
Well, I look forward to our chat after this interview, but it's a great opportunity to catch up with friends, like seeing Chiku, seeing you, Nabil, Mr. Sohail, etc. Everybody we know is here, and I really am enjoying, meeting everybody and catching up with everyone.
It's a big honor to be here because British Pakistanis have been very generous to me and to many projects in Pakistan that have kept suffering people from dying and from starving and from suffering more. So we really appreciate the community of British Pakistanis for all they've done to help Pakistan in its time of need. I love TVapex. They've been supporting me. They've done stories on my work. And Dr. Suhail Chugtai, Nabil and their staff, they are truly Zabardast.
Actually, the purpose of this event is to get our community and the local community on the same platform. We want our community to integrate with the local community because as a councillor, what worry me is that we are living separately from the local community. We seem to living all together in one.
With integration, basically.
And I think the integration is the only way forward for success.
I came here because I'm really into politics, and when I heard the Deputy Prime Minister will be here, I was just like, I can ask lots of questions, and I'm really keen on left-wing, right-wing and Liberal Democrats at the centre, so it's like a really good opportunity for me.
Well, personally I see it as a step forward of integrating the two societies, because there might be some supporters of Lib Dem who might be, no, we don't want immigrants over here, and seeing the leader at this event is a major step forward in my opinion.
I welcome you to second Intergration dinner organized with World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis. In London we have 270 nationalities and 300 languages. And if we are living in a global village, we need to know about our fellow villagers. So today, this Intergration dinner has been organized so that we could know about our fellow villagers. The organization which is hosting tonight's dinner is World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, which is a representative organization. for overseas Pakistanis, more than 8 million overseas Pakistanis in 144 countries. To shed more light and offer you a formal welcome, I'm inviting President of World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis UK, Dr. Sohail Chugtai, to offer you a formal welcome. Dr. Sohail Chugtai, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good evening to you. I want to welcome the chief guest of the program today on behalf of World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, the Right Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Nick Clegg. We're really honored to have you here and we treasure your presence today. I also want to extend a similar warm welcome to Honorary Member of Parliament, Mr. Simon Hughes. Thank you very much indeed for sparing time for us. The gallery of different communities sitting here today, integrating, communicating. This is the spirit of WCOP, World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, and I'm really proud to say that that is well reflected today by all of you sitting and having a good time together. And I welcome you very much on behalf of the Board of Governors, the Chairman, the Co-Chairman, and I hope you continue enjoying it. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. I'm extremely pleased to be attending the second annual Intergration dinner of the World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis. This occasion also marks the second anniversary of the existing WCOP. It is indeed an honor and privilege for me to be amongst an august gathering of prominent personalities from diverse backgrounds this evening. WCOP has substantive progress in creating better understanding and fostering strong bonds of friendship between the Pakistanis and other communities across the United Kingdom. It has also made valuable contributions in further consolidating Pak-UK relations. Here, I must also commend the idea of Intergration dinner, which is designed to connect like-minded professionals, opinion makers, and high achievers from various backgrounds and communities to promote social entrepreneurship and mutual coexistence.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. And now, we are serving you some of the best in the beginning and serving bit in the end. I have the honor to invite Right Honorable Simon Hughes, a great friend of WCOP, Deputy Leader of the Liberal Democrats, Minister of State for Justice and Civil Liberties, who is going to serve you the best in the beginning. So over to Simon Hughes.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, I'm not going to detain you. You're not here to hear me, although you might hear me later. With no further ado, may I invite the Deputy Prime Minister of the United Kingdom to come and address you. Nick Clegg.
Thank you very much, everybody, for inviting me to this magnificent event. Whilst I understand that the World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis has only been in existence for a couple of years, it nonetheless, and an event like this, nonetheless celebrates something of huge scale and of considerable duration as well. The Acting High Commissioner alluded to it himself. It is an extraordinary thought that 8 million individuals, Pakistanis, live outside Pakistan and yet provide so much prosperity, so much employment, provide such a contribution, charitable contribution, civic contribution to the communities in which they live. And that by far the largest contingent of that overseas community is to be found here in the United Kingdom. And you, of course, are prominent and successful members of that community. And it is really a great delight for me to be here to celebrate all your achievements and everything that you represent. Because you will know better than I do the untold stories of individuals and of families some years ago, making perhaps a long journey with some trepidation, leaving kith and kin, leaving the community and hearth of which they were accustomed in Pakistan, to find a new life here in the United Kingdom. Very often, establishing themselves in those early years was not difficult. It was not easy, rather. Dealing with discrimination, dealing with economic and social challenges, and yet bit by bit, innovation upon innovation, entrepreneur after entrepreneur, hour after hour of extraordinary hard work, the Pakistani in this community, in this country, has established itself as an absolute integral part of everything that makes Britain the wonderfully diverse country that it is today. And so I really do want to congratulate you. I want to thank you, and I want to celebrate everything that you represent. The ethos of hard work, the ethos of seeking to do the best for yourselves, for your family, and for your community. The way in which you have enriched the United Kingdom in so many different ways, culturally, economically, and socially. You are right to be enormously proud of everything that you represent. And you do so as the Acting High Commissioner. And you do so, of course, as the Acting High Commissioner said, at a time when the relationship between the United Kingdom and Pakistan is an extraordinarily intimate one. Not only is that relationship underpinned by history, by culture, by a lot of shared experiences, but also by the fact that we trade with each other. I want to see us trade even more. We've set a target of increasing bilateral trade to £3 billion by 2015. We have many, many British companies that are active and present and prominent in Pakistan. But more than that as well, by 2015, Pakistan will be the largest bilateral recipient of aid and assistance from the United Kingdom, particularly in the field of education. British assistance will be helping 4 million children in Pakistan with their education by 2015. That is the largest educational program of its kind anywhere in the world. And as the Acting High Commissioner said, we also work hand in glove to make sure that the interests of Pakistan, not just in London, but in Brussels, Berlin, Paris, and across Europe, are well understood as well. I remember vividly, I will never forget it, flying in an RAF aeroplane in the center of Pakistan in 2010. And before me, I saw just this biblical sight, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of square miles of countryside submerged underwater in those terrible, terrible floods. And not only did thousands upon thousands of British fellow citizens act generously to provide their own contribution, their own donation to charities which were there to help those who had to flee their homes and flee their communities. But also, that was the point at which the British government really swung into action to make sure that this new wave of trade concessions would be granted by the European Union towards Pakistan, the so-called General System of Preferences Plus, which represents, or could represent, up to £500 million worth of additional export of Pakistani goods to the European Union. On top of all the reasons that I've said, I really do wish you all the very best of luck, all the very best of success in your deliberations in the future. What you do, standing up for empowerment, for integration and for coexistence, is of huge, invaluable importance at the best of times. It is especially important in these difficult times which we travel through together right now. Thank you very much.
And if you can rise from your seats to welcome Honorable Sajjad Karim MEP, the Chairman of World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis. We are lucky third time.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for the invitation. Mr. President, Saj and friends, may I first also acknowledge the presence of two people who have been with us during the evening who are here. Firstly, my colleague and friend Baroness Ludford, Sarah Ludford, a colleague with Saj in the European Parliament until May of this year, member of the European Parliament for London. And secondly, Dick the Lord Newby, our Chief Whip in the House of Lords, who comes from a business background and was here for the first part of the evening. The trade between the UK and Pakistan, by the end of this year, the High Commissioner indicated, the Acting High Commissioner, and you've heard, maybe up to £3 billion. This morning, I opened a conference of people who are working in the building industry in this country, in glass and glazing, and they already every year have a business of £3 million. There is a huge potential for increase in trade between UK and Pakistan, not just for the big players, but for the medium and small companies too. Small and medium-sized enterprises will probably be the future for more employees in Pakistan and the UK than big companies. In fact, many more people in the UK work for themselves or small or medium-sized businesses than work for big companies. And so I am really grateful that your organization is not only about integrating communities, but is about making sure that people have opportunities from the diaspora community, both at home, here in the UK and in Pakistan. Thank you very much for your contribution to this country as well as your own.
All of us, we're going to put up a warm welcome to the chairman of the organization for his vote of thanks, his final speech. Let's put a warm welcome. Please, standing ovation are requested.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It really is a tremendous pleasure for me to be able to be present here today as chairman of the Board of Governors of the World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, a voice for over 8 million people across the globe. And it is befitting that I should make this inaugural address here in the United Kingdom, the country which by far has the deepest links with Pakistan, and quite naturally, as a dual British and Pakistani national, I clearly have an interest, an unashamed interest, in deepening these ties even further. When it comes to British Pakistanis, the phrase that best describes them for me is hard work. No, Simon, I don't mean we are hard work, although some of us can be, and I know you know I certainly can be from time to time. But it's that willingness never to shy away from making a contribution to which I refer. And I'm often reminded, when I look at that, of my very best friend who secured his first job after graduating. He was so pleased, he went running immediately to tell his parents. His father's reaction, "So what hours will you be working, beta?" My friend replied, "Daddy, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday." His father retorted, "So it's only a part-time job then?" And true to form, you know, he made him work in the family business every evening and every weekend. That is a true story. Right across the world, this desire to grasp challenges and opportunities with both hands has propelled our community ahead. And I always celebrate the fact that Jinnah, Iqbal, and Chaudhry Rahmat Ali were all actually the equivalent of modern-day Pakistanis. The Pakistani community in Europe has a strong influence back in their homeland, and quite often they are entrenched with what is happening there. In my role as an MEP, it's an internationalist role, and I see this action at close quarters, but it is the United Kingdom, in my eyes, that has excelled in providing the best contextual mix to allow members of the British Pakistani community to excel in all fields, from the professions, from being innovators right the way across to arts and culture, and today, even now, in politics. I finish simply by congratulating the UK chapter on the success of tonight's event, and I thank our entire team for everything they have done, working in conjunction with my core chairman and also the chairman of the UK chapter. And as I said right at the beginning, I know how dangerous this situation has become for me. So I simply finish in true French style by wishing you all bon appetit. Thank you.
We're going to introduce you to the team which has invited you today, the host team, World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis. This is the time to go and play our anthem.
एक ही मालिक खालिक सबका सब उसकी मखलूक इश्क भी हुस्न भी आशिक भी वो और वही माशूक इंसानियत साथ न छोड़े जो भी हो हालात प्यार है मंजिल हम है राही हाथों में है हाथों में
चांद सितारों से है रोशन अपने दिन और रात प्यार है मंजिल हम है राही हाथों में है हाथ
चांद सितारों से है रोशन अपने दिन और रात प्यार है मंजिल हम है राही हाथों में है हाथ
सभी एक आसमां के तारे हैं हम तभी एक दूसरे के सहारे हैं हम पाकिस्तान है दूर मगर हम फिर भी है एक साथ पाकिस्तान है दूर मगर हम फिर भी है एक साथ पाकिस्तान है दूर मगर हम फिर भी है एक साथ पाकिस्तान है दूर मगर हम फिर भी है एक साथ
हम मत वाले हैं दिल वाले सबको दें तो क़ीर अपने दम से हर दिल में हो राहत की जंजीर एक रहेंगे हम पर होगी खुशियों की बरसात प्यार है मंजिल हम हैं राही हाथों में है हाथों में है
खुशबू बनकर जज्बे महके रिश्ते खिलते जाएं लम्हा लम्हा
बनकर जज्बे महके रिश्ते खिलते जाएं लम्हा लम्हा दूरी कम हो दिल ये मिलते जाएं
सब एक आसमां की तारे हैं हम तब एक दूसरे के सहारे हैं हम
पाकिस्तान है दूर मगर हम फिर भी हैं एक साथ पाकिस्तान है दूर मगर हम फिर भी हैं एक साथ पाकिस्तान है दूर मगर हम फिर भी हैं एक साथ पाकिस्तान है दूर मगर हम फिर भी हैं एक साथ
And now we're getting ready for some exciting musical experience. We have Torchia over here, who will be singing Dil Dil Pakistan.
Pakistan Zindabad! बहुत shukriya. Thank you.
I would like to say hello to all the Apex viewers who are watching at the moment, and I'm also honored to be here, part of this event tonight. It's a great, tremendous effort on Dr. Chughtai's behalf, and also the rest of the team, and I think the objective is something that is really required. It's more integration of British Pakistanis within the community here, within the UK, because I think Pakistanis have a lot to offer.
Well, I see a lot of change now than was, say, 10 or 15 to 20 years ago. I see a willingness to integrate, which wasn't there earlier, I think. And this is how it should be, because when you're here and enjoying all the gift of living in a country like the United Kingdom, and I really feel it is a gift. I think that here you can be anyone who you are as long as you're within the rule of law. I think that's huge. So people here are looking tuned in, like it wasn't like 20 years ago perhaps. This is my feeling.
Well, I mean, it's common humanity. We are all human beings. So it's nice to actually get to grips with that fact, because there's been so much animosity between the two. So as an actor, as an entertainer, comedian, I like to communicate. And I think that's the bottom line, communication. We all keep communicating with each other. It might sound a bit hippie, but if we can, then that is, I think, the way to go. And we plan to do that at TVapex.
Delighted to be at obviously at the World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis this evening, because whilst this is a relatively new organisation, it of course celebrates something which has been going on for a very, very long period of time, which is Pakistani individuals and families leaving Pakistan, going to other countries, often against the odds, and then making a huge success of their own lives, but also making a huge contribution to the communities in which they are active, as business people, as civic leaders, active in charities, active, of course, in Britain in the armed forces, in the defence of this nation as well. So it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to celebrate the very, very significant contribution that so many Pakistanis have made to our British way of life.